What's up, my guys? We are back in the lunch line yet again. It's been a few weeks. We were on Thanksgiving break. We're not in school, so we weren't able to get in the lunch line. School's back in business, so we are back in line waiting for our square cut pizza with salad and carrots. Uh, what's up, my guys? How's everybody doing today?
JT, I'm doing great. I'm back in the still sunny state of Arizona. I think it was 82 this afternoon, which is just sublime. Does sublime mean good? Or
It
am
does
I?
now.
to be honest, it sounds good, and you said it as if it means something good, so we're gonna roll with it.
I think it means good. I know it's a band. If Zarly was here, I'm sure he would like the band Sublime. So we're gonna go with good. So I'm doing well. Had a great holidays. Was traveling east, and I didn't get to see you guys, which was sad. Kind of brutal. But I was able to come in. I saw Bubba. I saw Zar. Saw a lot of friends and families, which was good. Spent some time in Columbus with my girlfriend, and it was a good time. It was a really good time. So glad to be
Good.
back.
I'm glad you got to go home for a little bit. I as well got to go home. Me and Angerise woke up last Wednesday, drove home. You know, it's frustrating because I have found my route to get home. Relatively good drive, long but good, easy drive. The past couple times, and yes, I know it's a holiday. I'm not stupid here. But the last couple times, like, we have just been hitting terrible traffic driving through Tennessee. Like, I don't mean 20 minutes. I mean tacking on 2 extra hours to our drive time, which really sucks. But it's a good Shut up. It's a good memory. Uh, sorry, I'm gonna ramble for a second because I just have to get some stuff off my chest, and this nicotine is hitting pretty good.
Go off,
Um,
King. Go off, King.
so I don't know what these dogs of mine, they can sense when something is about to happen, like we're about to go somewhere, whatever. So because the days that we're driving home, I need to make sure that I get a really good night's sleep the night before because it's a long day. But these two fuckers, love them to death, kept me up all night the night before we drove home. So I had probably 3 or 4 hours of sleep, and I was delirious the whole ride home. We were driving for about 3 hours in the pitch darkness.
Fuck.
So it was a little rough. Good memory though. We took a way we don't normally ever take because we were going to Philippi. Drove all through the mountains of West Virginia.
Dude,
Saw the Mothman. Um, so it was an experience. But I'm happy to be back as well. We had a great time.
you went through Summersville, which is a very cool place.
We did. We drove over the New River Gorge,
Yeah, that's
which to
cool.
to be honest, I think that was the first time I ever have driven over it. I'm not even kidding.
I
I don't
never
think.
have.
Oh, really?
Never been down there either.
Okay, so I'm not crazy. I was like, Angie, I don't think I've ever driven over this before. So that was pretty cool. Got to spend some time on the farm. Good fall West Virginia weather. The cows were mooing. Uh, got to kick back and relax on the farm for a few days. So it was definitely nice, very nice.
Yeah, no, it was great seeing you guys. Unfortunately for me, I was sick as shit. Pretty much from last Tuesday until about Saturday-ish, I started feeling a little better. So that kind of stunk, but it was still good that I was able to get down there. Got to hang out with the family, got to hang out with JT and Ange and the doggos. But yeah, no, back to your drive though. Like Southern West Virginia has a lot of beautiful places that I've never even been to that I know exist that are just gorgeous.
It is. It is very beautiful. Like it's funny because I always picture like think of like, oh man, like a little mountain town in Colorado, little mountain town in New Hampshire. That would be so cool. We have those in West Virginia. There's so many little mountain towns, cute little mountain towns in West Virginia. We were driving our way back Sunday, and we passed this Tudor's Biscuit World, and it was the cutest little, most country Tudor's Biscuit World I've ever seen. And I was like, I just want to go there. We did.
Do you remember where it was?
No.
Dang.
I wish I did, but I do not.
But yeah, no, overall weekend was great. I'm back. I feel better. As you can see, the hat on my head, the hottest team in sports right now, the Denver Broncos are running through people. They're picking them up, knocking them down. 5-game win streak. Russ is cooking on his legs and his arms. The offense is clicking. The defense is clicking. And Tiggy Nation, I'm just happy to say that the Broncos are back. It is what it is. We're literally back. First, the Chiefs knock them down. We roll into Buffalo, a very difficult place to play, knock them down. We beat the Vikings, knock them down. Then all of a sudden, we beat the shit out of the Cleveland Browns. We beat the shit out of the Cleveland Browns. They ran into men on Sunday. All I'm saying is this weekend, the Texans game, this is another big game for the Broncos. This is another head-to-head ticket that we can have for our wild card spot here. And honestly, Tiggy Nation, it feels great to be back in the race with you because quite frankly, I haven't had a decent team in my life in the NFL since about 2015. So I know you got to be feeling good. Over 400 yards, Canada's gone.
Yeah, so I definitely feel good. We were moving the ball. We were throwing in between the hashes down the center of the field a couple times. And Kenny was actually throwing somewhat decent, pretty far range. But there were still just like some inexcusable misses from like 10 yards out, which, you know, Lee Palachetti could have made in 6th grade. I've seen him make. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand where Kenny's going. And that's not a slight to Lee. I'm just saying Lee was very good, especially at the parochial level where we just dominated St. Vincent. Shout out St. Vinny's Warriors, baby. But the Steelers, definitely a good step, a big step. They're running the ball well. I love Jalen Warren. I mean, that man is something else. He gets hit and he just runs faster. And him and Najee's playing well. There's an issue with still scoring some points. I think that could be an issue because we got 400 yards for the first time ever since before Matt Canada was there. And we only somehow got 16 points. And we were able to move the ball pretty well. So we literally got stopped a couple times, like at the 50. And, you know, we didn't go for it, which is fine. I don't care to not go for it. But I want to see just a little bit of better play calling just to get in Boswell territory because Boswell's money. Like, people don't give Chris Boswell enough credit where he has scored so many points. He is so money. I mean, he is like Justin Tucker and Adam Vinatieri when it comes to consistency. Like, 50 yards and in, money. Absolute take it to the bank, money in the bank. Chris Boswell. Just get into the Chris Boswell territory. So at minimum, we're getting 3.
Yeah.
You know?
He is a good kicker. Chris Boswell is a very solid kicker. Good kicker to have on your fantasy team.
Very good, especially because the Steelers don't usually score many touchdowns. But we scored a little bit. You know, we get that Deontay Johnson touchdown, overturns, and then a fumble happens. I'm not here to talk about Deontay Johnson's effort. I'm not here to talk about his effort when it comes to blocking on a run play and then not hustling on a ball that got stripped. What I'm here to talk about is Deontay Johnson's hands, where this guy is rated so highly and is a very talented athlete, but he has drops that, again, someone could catch in the parochial league right at him. These gloves are made to basically not drop balls. I mean, there's people doing videos of like one-handed everywhere, and this guy can't catch them just straight at him. As an NFL caliber receiver, he's probably making like $10+ million a year, and he can't catch simple balls right at him. Inexcusable. That is inexcusable. I don't care about his effort on the runs. I care about the effort when the ball's coming right at him, which is his job. So that needs to pick up. Defense is still looking good, though. Defense is really well. TJ Watt had another sack or 2. He's leading the league in sacks. Joey Porter Jr. is playing tremendous. I don't think he's given up 3 receptions, depending on who he's covered all year. So he's playing really good. People were worried about him. But the Steelers are looking good, but frustration is going to be not scoring enough points now. Again, I said it a couple times. We're really going to trudge Kenny back out there when Mitch is sitting on the sidelines looking good. who's to say what Mitch could do with this offense? I bet he could put more than 16 points up, So I don't think Kenny Pickett's job is secure. And, he's got, 6 more games to prove it?
Yeah. Honestly, love. I actually love that you're making that take, because that is a valid take. It really is. I mean, at the end of the day, the Steelers are winning. They're winning by the skin of their teeth at times. Who's to say? Who's to say old Mitch?
I forget when Kenny got hurt a couple weeks ago. It was still Matt Canada offense. But Mitch came in there, threw a long touchdown, got him going. And then the next the next 3 possessions, maybe he threw it 30 yards downfield and got intercepted. But I'd rather have that than just go 3 and out. What's the difference?
I agree.
What's the difference? I mean, our punter had a 23-yard punt 2 weeks ago at the same time, too. It's like, who cares? I'd rather take shots and try to score points than try to not lose. I'd rather try to win than try to not lose. So I'd rather us just fucking go and try to score some points because our defense is good. We're going to hold them regardless. So I don't know. I want to see more shots taken. Kenny, you got 6 more games, and then who knows? We might be trying to get Jalen Daniels. Who knows? Who's to say? But happy for the Steelers. Happy for the Broncos. Glad to see the Broncos are doing well. That AFC West is going to kick up a little bit, which is good. And because, the Raiders and the Chargers are so fucking bad.
They stink. They stink.
They're
brutal. So bad, dude. And, yeah, honestly, here's the toughest part for me now is the NFL now is so, like you said, you have to take shots. You have to take chances down the field. The Broncos, on their 5-game winning streak, they are taking the approach of old school ass football. I think they throw it maybe only 21, 22 times a game, and they take every field goal. They're not taking chances. They're taking points. And Sean Payton has them playing in such an old school way to where I was joking with my dad and JT. I was like, we are the Iowa Hawkeyes of the NFL right now. We are the team that is just going to try to run it, and then find Court or the judge or, Marvin, somebody downfield. We're getting Dulcich back, the good tight end from UCLA this week. So I don't know. It's cool, but I think what's even cooler is this style. You can hang with anybody playing this way if the defense is playing good. So I don't know. It'll be fun to see.
I agree. I agree with you, and I love just taking points when they are. I couldn't tell you how many times it was all the Thursday slate on Thanksgiving. I think I took a kicking prop in every single game, gambling, and only one of them hit. All of them should have hit, but multiple times they're going for 4th and 2, 4th and 1. Instead of the extra point, they're going for 2. And I think the total record when I was watching, when I needed one more kicking point or a field goal or something like that, and they went for it or something like that, I think they were only successful 1 out of 7 times. And it's why are you just not taking points? Because then, I hate the going for 2 when you're down, I forget what it is, to make it a 3-point game. Because then if you score a touchdown and you don't get the extra point or you don't get the 2 the next time, then you're only up 2 and not 3 when you could have been up 3. It's just take your points. You're going to have more times to score. I don't know. And again, let's say you're down 4. Well, 2 field goals. Just kick 2 field goals. I don't know. Too many people are trying to be math wizards, and football should be just dumbed down, like you're saying. Just take points when you can. Points are good. It's hard to score points in the National Football League.
I agree. So, JT, I want to hear how are you feeling about the Broncos from your vantage point? Because we don't really get to talk about them that much.
No, I'm with you. I think they are back. They are the hot team right now. I love it because they just fucking hit people. They are just some heavy hitters. Don't give a shit if it's a flag. That's what I love about football is when people hit each other. The NFL is freaking soft is what it is. Anytime it's a flag when you hit somebody. But no, I think they're fun to watch now. I really enjoyed the game on Sunday, and they beat the shit out of the Browns. I think they're back. I think they could 100% make the wild card. But go ahead.
real
No,
quick,
go
I
ahead.
just want to say this, and then we can move on.
No, yeah.
I think the biggest thing with the Broncos is their toughest, because their schedule, we still have to play the Chargers twice. We still have to play the Raiders again. Like, those are in conference games that can go either way. We still have to play the Lions, the Texans. We still have some hitters on our schedule. I think if we can get in, the hardest part's going to be for us getting in. That 1-5 hole crushed us. So if we can get in, I truly, in the bottom of my heart, think that we can beat anybody in the AFC. The hardest part's going to be getting in the playoff. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's all. I mean, I'm not like a analyst by any means, but I think the NFL is very. There's a lot of like good teams or like semi good teams. You know what I mean? Other than like the Eagles being a juggernaut and the 49ers are really good, but I feel like there are a lot of kind of teams in the same position that the Broncos are in, you know?
I agree. Yep.
Yeah,
Well,
what about
let me go down the list here. I mean, Dolphins basically going to be in. Bills decent, Broncos decent, Raiders, Chargers, Ravens are going to be in. Steelers, Browns, Bengals. I would take the Bengals off. Steelers, Browns, Texans. I would say Colts out, Titans out. Like all those teams, what I think, 10 teams, like they could all beat each other and also lose to each other out of that whole list, you know?
I know, and that's where I was talking about this on Hits and Picks. Was shout out the Hits and Picks boys. Everybody is over 50%. We are rolling. We are rolling. Tune in. I was talking about this on Hits and Picks yesterday, where I worry that the NFC, like you really only have the 9. I mean, I know anybody can beat anybody, but let's be real. The Niners and the Eagles are rolling. The Cowboys are good. They haven't proven any playoff success as of late, so that's why I'm hesitant on them. The Lions could be finicky. There might be 3 or 4 good teams in the NFC. The AFC, everybody's going to beat the shit out of each other. So it's going to be about who can stay the healthiest, and then whoever gets out of that AFC gauntlet, then you got to turn around and play an NFC team that's probably going to end up being relatively fresh compared to the AFC team, in my opinion. So it'll be interesting, very interesting, because all 10 of those teams that you just said, I think any given Sunday, each of them could beat one another home or away. So it'll be wild.
I like that. I'm going to try to pull up. I want to pull up like, the graphic. I want to pull up a graphic real quick and we can just say who's going to make it on the AFC.
All right.
Just do a little of that. But JT, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
No, you're good. No, keep going.
All right, here's this. I'm going to send it in the chat. I'm going to send this picture in the chat here.
GG's in the chat.
It's a link here. Hit it, and it shows who's in right now. It has the 1 through 7, and we can just say the 7 teams at the AFC. I really, the NFC, I don't care at all. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, no, me neither.
No one cares. There's 3.5 teams over there. They're all really good, but there's 3.5 teams over there, and no one cares. So we'll care when it gets to the Super Bowl, honestly.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me X out this chat so I can see you guys. I mean, I would say I'm going to just try to run this down as best as I can here. I would say Baltimore ends up being 1. I think Jacksonville is probably going to be 2 because I think Kansas City is going to they're definitely going to lose a couple games in these last couple, I believe. So Jacksonville 2. Kansas City will be 3. I'd say, Miami's probably definitely going to win their division. So I'd say they'll be 4. I think you probably will have the Steelers at 5. I think you get the Broncos in at 6. And then somehow, some way, I bet the Bills figure out how to get to 7. So that's my 7 teams. So I left out Cleveland, Indy, and Houston in the top 10.
Okay. I'm gonna try to look up the Colts. GT, you got anything different?
No. I'm not much of a analyst here, guys.
Yeah. I mean, the list shows, Baltimore, Kansas City, Jacksonville, Miami. Yeah, I think they hold on to the divisions, honestly. I think Pittsburgh definitely makes it with the way they're playing, new offensive coordinator, yada, yada, yada. I could see Denver slipping in. I can see Buffalo slipping in. I could also see Buffalo. I don't know Buffalo's schedule.
Buffalo's schedule's pretty tough. Pretty tough down the
Pretty
stretch.
tough, and they've already lost games they should have won. They got Cowboys lost, Chiefs lost. They'll probably lose to the Chargers too, so they're out. I wouldn't be surprised. Bills out, so I could see Denver making it, finish out strong if they beat both against Chargers they're in. I can see Houston sliding in too. Indy kind of has a decently hard schedule, and they're not good. I don't know how they're even 6-5. I'm gonna be honest. I can see Cleveland sliding out too. No quarterback. They're just gonna have to run the ball with Ford and Hunt, and they couldn't do that against Denver. Denver's got a good defense though, but still, they were not able to really do anything there. So just throw it to Njoku 20 times. I don't know why. What's the difference? I don't know. So I think Pittsburgh. I can see Cleveland, Indy sliding out, Houston, Denver sliding up, Buffalo out, Vegas no chance. Cincy dead. Chargers, get them off primetime, please.
Yeah, Justin Herbert stinks.
Yeah, is that the same you had, Jake?
Houston,
Denver sliding up, or you had Cleveland holding?
No, I had Denver. I had the Steelers, Denver, and Buffalo in the wild card spots. And
okay,
the division holders I have staying.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna be tough. Cleveland, no quarterback, just tough. Houston, CJ Stroud's solid.
He's a dog,
and they're doing pretty well. That's awesome to see. So I don't know. I hope Houston keeps doing well, but they're gonna have to win some games, and down the stretch it's always tough. A lot of interdivision. So
hell yeah.
Well, listen, I've always been a late bloomer. It'll always be that way. But I have this year, I think it's just from being in SEC country, I have grown such a love for college football. I don't know how many games you guys got to watch on Saturday, but every single game on this past Saturday was absolutely electric.
Yeah.
Like the Michigan-Ohio State game, the Alabama-Auburn game, and then it sucks because you watch those games and then you watch WVU and Baylor, and it's literally I love WVU. They're my favorite team, but it's like you're watching a different league of football.
Yeah.
It's true. It's sad, but it's true. And it's it's tough to admit, but I think as a WVU fan, if you can admit it, you're not being honest with yourself. Now, that's not saying any given Saturday you can go out and beat anybody, but on a consistent basis, it's.
Yeah. But let's be real. GG is a fucking baller.
He's a dog.
He's a baller.
And he's going to be an absolute threat next year. And I can't wait to see it.
And I don't know, were you thinking the Baylor game? I was like, this is the Houston game.
Oh, 100%.
All over again. I was like, we're about to blow this game again.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let's do something fun since we just did the AFC. Let's do the 4 playoff teams.
Okay.
That's fun.
Conference championship games are this weekend. A lot of great games out there. I want to know on the panel. I have mine. If you would like me to go first so you guys can think, I gladly will. But I think there's opportunity for chaos to happen, but I don't think it's going to go in the direction that people think it's going to go. I believe this is what I think is going to happen. Georgia's going to be number 1. They're going to beat Alabama. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a tough game. They might even be losing for a decent amount of time. I think Georgia wins the game. Georgia 1. Michigan beats Iowa. Michigan 2. Number 3. Here we go. Number 3. Oregon is going to beat Washington. That's going to avenge their loss to their loss to Washington early in the season in double overtime by 3. They're going to put Oregon in at number 3. Texas is going to beat Oklahoma State. And Florida State is going to beat Louisville by the skin of their teeth because Florida State's quarterback's out. Florida State's going to be undefeated, but I think they're going to put Texas in at number 4 with 1 loss over Florida State.
They're going to do what they did years ago, the first time when TCU did what they did, shit kicked their opponent, and then they put Ohio State in ahead.
I think that's what we're going to see. I think because Jordan Travis is left out, the thought process has to be we don't want any blowouts in these games. And I think once Texas wins and once Oregon wins, it's going to be very difficult to leave both of them out because Texas has an incredible win against Bama, and their loss is to Oklahoma, who's a good team, in the final minute. So that's my chaos prediction. That's what I think we're going to see.
I mean, I like it. I mean, Florida State barely snuck by last week, too. Who'd they play? Florida, right?
Florida, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were losing the whole game until the fourth quarter. So that was always concerning. Any questions? So what happens if Georgia loses to Bama or Michigan loses to Iowa? Then what happens? I mean, what are they going to put Alabama over Georgia if Alabama wins here?
No, I don't think so. I think Georgia would still make it.
If Georgia loses?
Georgia
Georgia
will still make it because they're on a 38-game winning streak. And I think that you can't. Okay, so this is a good question because this is where it gets interesting. Say that scenario happens, Tiggy Nation. Okay, let's say it happens. Okay,
I'm saying Georgia shit cans them by 21. 3 scores. Georgia shit cans them.
You mean Bama beats the shit out of Georgia? You mean?
Exactly. That's what I mean. The opposite of what I was thinking.
Okay. So still, here's what I think happens. You can't leave Georgia out. You have to put Bama in. But the problem is Texas beat Alabama. So if Texas wins, the games have to matter. So then you have those 3 teams. You have the winner of Washington and Oregon, and then you would have Michigan and an undefeated Florida State. That is the chaos.
I think there's no way Florida State makes it just because they lost their quarterback, honestly. They might be undefeated, but we were talking about this in Greg's bar. I know it always seems like they pick the favorite teams, but I just don't think Florida State is a top 4 team after losing the quarterback. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying. But I mean, you got to think of, obviously different leagues, but there was a time the New England Patriots quarterback went down and, rookie Tom Brady steps up. Right. I mean, you could get a story like that. You're going to have,
you could.
But we'll have to see. I mean, if Florida State comes in and beats Louisville by 30 points, I don't think you can deny it. You know what I mean?
I know, but see that again, that's where it's hard because Florida State really hasn't beat their win against LSU week 1 is a great win. But their schedule compared to the other conferences has been much weaker. So I'm always I'm always the guy that's they're undefeated, they should get in. I was on that with the Cincy train, but I really honestly think that they are not a top 4 team if Texas I don't know, dude.
They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose anyway.
Oh wow.
Florida State.
JT's calling straight up loss. Book it right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. It's tough. I think Georgia, Michigan are I think that's a lock. but then Michigan loses. I don't fucking know. Oh God.
I mean, if
I'm
Michigan
looking
loses, I think they throw Ohio State in immediately. If Michigan loses,
And
But
not
I'm
Michigan.
I'm not even kidding. They're just gonna throw Ohio
And
State.
not Michigan. Well, yeah, I could see Ohio State wiggling in fucking somehow.
If Georgia loses, I'm sorry. There's no way Georgia stays in. There's no chance.
How?
Georgia has a weaker strength of schedule than Florida State. And you're talking about Florida State's getting out if they win.
Tiggy
I think
Nation. We're talking about the defending champions here.
Is that quarterback, that 40-year-old quarterback, still there?
No, it's Carson Beck. He's a dog.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's a dog, Tiggy Nation.
You're only as good as your last win, and if you lose on the last game, I'm sorry, you're out.
I think
Alabama.
Out.
Wait. Then how can you put Ohio State in? Because their last game was a loss.
But
yeah,
it's a loss. But like JT said, it's all a popularity contest.
It is, and
you know what I mean? What? They want to see a Harbaugh burn. They get a loss. The NCAA can finally be the good guys for once in 20 years. They get Michigan out of there, Ohio State in.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
College football, so just make a tournament. I don't know why they don't. I mean, aren't they making a tournament?
Next year's 12, right?
Next year's 12. Yeah, this would have been the perfect year to make it 12 because
I think 12's too many. We're gonna get people saying 12 is too many next year. I guarantee it.
No,
I guarantee it, JT.
It's not. It's not though.
Look,
but
we got 12. We got Missouri, Penn State, Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Be sick.
3 of those teams are ass.
It would be sick. but the way they're doing it, in hindsight, rest in peace to the Pac-12. But it kind of makes things a little easier because now there's only 4 conferences. It's an even number now. I believe it's if you win the conference championship game, you're in, regardless of record. If you win, then there are 8 at large, and the top 2 seeds get a bye. But the first 2 rounds, the higher seed, it's like if WVU was the higher seed, the game would be in Morgantown. They're doing it that way. And then it goes to bowls. Once it gets to 4, then it goes to bowls. So there's a chance, like just throwing it out there, there's a chance one year we could see like Tulane at 12 having to go play at Alabama.
Yeah, that's sick.
Like that kind of stuff. I live for that shit. First round, 12 is the perfect number because those first round games, dude, for gambling, the lines, the hot teams, it's going to be awesome, bro. Awesome.
Well, hey, no one has said anything about Washington. What if Washington just beats Oregon?
Then they should be in.
Well, they would be, but we haven't even said Washington.
If Washington wins, they're in. If Florida, I disagree. I think Florida State wins, they're in. I think they're in.
Honestly,
then
I think 0% chance Florida State is in it. I do. Hey, I mean, if I'm picking, I'm a fucking nobody. If I'm picking, I don't know.
So what happens? Hypothetically, Florida State wins. Florida State wins.
Oh, here we go.
Oregon loses.
And Georgia loses.
No. The top 4 all win. The top 4 all win. And then Texas loses. Texas loses to, who are they playing? Oklahoma State?
Yeah.
Texas loses to Oklahoma State. Do you put Ohio State in there ahead of Florida State?
Fuck Ohio State.
Because they're the only other team that would make sense. They're the only other team, and they just lost.
I'll be honest. If that scenario happens, Ohio State will get in over Florida State 1,000%. 1,000% because it's Ohio State.
Yeah.
And again,
they won't have to play Michigan as well.
I'm not knocking Ohio. Like the older I get, I respect the grind. I respect the program. I'm just not a fan, but that doesn't mean I will actively root against them at times. Like sometimes I do, but like it's like,
yeah.
But at the same time, it's people are nuts if they don't think that. Yeah, dude, I think you're right. I think Ohio State gets in over Florida State if that exact scenario happens. If Washington wins and Florida State wins, That knocks Oregon down. And then if Texas loses, that knocks Texas down. That would assume Bama lost. That's 2 losses. Yeah, then you have Ohio State and Florida State.
I mean, that could happen. I hope this is what I mean. We should tear away from the college football, but I hope Georgia loses. I mean, Michigan's not going to lose to Iowa. I hope Georgia loses. I hope Washington loses, and I hope Florida State wins. And I hope it's just absolute chaos on the internet and just everyone who loves college football just arguing because that's just the best.
Go Dogs, Tiki Nation.
Go Dogs.
I live here now. I gotta support the Dogs. I think if they lose Georgia and Alabama will both make it.
I do too.
That'd be
Just because that's how it. But you know how it is. Like
yeah,
SEC.
they'll put them in. They'll put them in somehow, and then instead of jumping Michigan up to 1, they'll somehow make it so Georgia and Alabama don't play again in the college football playoff. You know what I mean? Until
this will be what happened.
One will drop to 3, one will drop to 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alabama will be like 4, Georgia would be 3.
But then what if Washington loses? What if Washington loses and then they grab
It's got to be Oregon.
Oregon to 2?
It's got to be. Dude, Oregon's dangerous. Oregon's a dangerous team. They really are good.
Oregon and Michigan.
No one has one win. No one's undefeated in fucking college football except for Florida State, and then they don't make the playoff.
Dude, I could see it. I could see that happening.
I could see.
God, that'd be awesome.
All right, but I got something. Me and JT and the Familia. You know, I think all of us here, Tiki Nation, were you a fan of the show Squid Game?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
So we started watching the new reality Squid Game show that just came out on Netflix with real people, and they're doing the exact competition. And my Lord, is it a fucking electric factory?
It is.
For a guy that loves reality TV like Survivor, you're gonna love this shit.
It is absolutely electric. I'm not like it is just like the show, but people don't die. Like obviously. But so they all have like an ink pack on them. So when they die, it somehow triggers the ink pack and it looks like they're getting shot. And they must tell them like, hey, when you die, act like you die. Because they all fall over and just lay there.
It's awesome.
But like the games are so electric. Like they had a similar to Harry Potter chess, but it was Battleship. And they're all on the like boats. And I mean, dude, it's so good. You got to watch it. They did the exact cookie challenge. Like
I like that.
Exact. And like there's a time crunch and people are crying and shit trying to get their cookie cut out.
Dude, it's awesome.
Because the prize pot is $4.5 million.
Holy shit.
Like it's so
and there's actually 456 of them.
Jesus.
And like so and they live in the exact dorm thing from the show. I mean identical. Cool. That's where everyone sleeps, and while they're in there, like they all have to do chores and stuff, and then the production or whoever will give some people like secret challenges, and if they beat the challenge, they'll be like number 212. You must eliminate 3 people right now.
It's insane, dude.
That's awesome.
Dude, it is so good. Like, we were locked in.
We watched 5 hours worth. We watched all 5 episodes that were available, and then more episodes come out tomorrow.
That's awesome. I like how they do like a couple episodes at a time. I forget what show does that too, where they release 2 at a time. I think it might be Welcome to Wrexham. They do like 2 at a time now, which I think is cool. So people want more than an hour. So that's awesome. I wonder how many they're going to do. Like how many players are they at right now?
Well,
76, I think.
Yeah. A lot have gotten killed.
Yeah. And it's starting to get like, it's starting to crank up. Like people are starting to like realize like, oh shit, there's $4.56 million on the line.
That's awesome. I mean, I think almost everyone enjoyed Squid Games when they watched it. And reality TV is just such a hot market nowadays. I feel like nowadays more than ever because there's so much out there and it's all still somewhat similar, but it's also good. You know, like you have shows like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, consider reality TV. You have like the Selling Sunset shows and stuff. You have the Real Housewives stuff. You have, I mean, obviously, Big Brother, Challenge, Survivor, and those are still heating up. I know Survivor this season has gotten a lot better. I'm so behind on episodes. I need to watch like 5 or 6 weeks. You're saying Challenge is really good. Now they have Squid Game, so like everyone's loving reality TV. The surviving Barstool clips they had a couple days ago were hilarious, and the fact that they have all the big personalities, I'm gonna have to watch that.
Dude,
I mean, reality TV is fucking up here on the tippy top of the mountain.
It is. It is.
last night's surviving Barstool episode was fucking electric. And there's one tonight and there's one Wednesday. And then they're doing the same thing next week and then the following week. But Tiggy, think about it, dude. Reality TV's at its peak because the writers were on strike. The actors were on strike.
True. A lot of TV's down, but I mean.
But it is at the peak that it's ever been right now.
Yeah.
People are loving reality TV.
I got to tell you one more thing about Squid Game. Do you care?
Yeah, I care.
Okay. No, I'm saying, do you care if I tell you? Or would you rather be surprised? Are you going to watch it?
No, tell me.
All right,
Listeners.
Yes, spoiler
FF
alert.
3 times.
Spoiler alert. So the thing that we finished, this was the last episode, there was no more out yet. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're like, all right, everybody, you do this challenge. We'll take a break and you'll have a picnic or whatever. So they beat the challenge and they all get to pick a friend to go to the picnic with. At the bottom of their basket, they pull out the fucking marbles.
Oh, shit.
So they all sat with their best friends. And they have to play them in the fucking marble game.
Dude, I'm spoiling this part. There's a mom and a son.
And they were at the picnic together.
And they sat together. And now they're going to have to play against each other.
I love that. I mean, just think, like, you probably are watching Squid Game. You're like, okay, I know what the games are. I know what to do, not what to do. But when you're there, where you're in it, it's so real and your emotions are there. And it's like you haven't been away. You're with your family. It's like, obviously, you're going to gravitate towards them. And then it splits you up. That's fucking sick. That's savage. And I love it.
Yeah, and I've seen, well, Angie's told me, I haven't seen them. There's TikToks of people, like, talking about it, like, that have gotten out and all, like, how the experience was. And it's actually quite funny because some of the people are bitching, like, how the conditions, like, it was really cold in the dorm and all this. They didn't give them, like, deodorant or any of this shit. And I'm like, dude, you're playing for $4.5 million. Do you think it was gonna be you're gonna be sitting on the beach or something?
Yeah,
it's like, dude,
spa.
You're playing Squid Game. Like,
I mean, people will be soft. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's insane. People were complaining that this one guy, Tifu, has streamed like an average of 6 hours a day for the past 4.5 years. And, he's a multi-millionaire and stuff like that. And people were like, well, if you put it down to it, technically with that, it's only like, 42 hours a week. And that's, barely full time and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, but he's sacrificing all his time playing his video games and he's marketing himself well and he's very good at the game. It's like so many other factors come into it. It's like everyone just wants a handout. Everyone wants a handout. Yep, he just had his first stream. He had like so many people hop in and stuff like that. But it's like JT is saying, you're playing for $4.5 million and people are crying that you don't have fucking deodorant for a week. I mean, shut up.
Yeah.
Who cares? You're not there. It's not a dating show. Why do you give a shit?
Yeah.
Gosh. People just love to complain about everything, but I don't know. That's awesome. Love reality TV. When did you guys get back in Wheeling? Because I must have missed you guys for like a couple days.
I didn't go. We stayed down. No, I didn't go to Wheeling. We were in Philippi, and then we went to see Angie's mom and stepdad in Morgantown. So I didn't even make it to Wheeling.
Yeah, I got back Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. Do you ever? I guess. Jake, you probably dealt with it a little bit, but JT now, like now that JT is a lot further and stuff, is it weird going back to like wheeling and stuff, and you like just go to the Wakeums or something like that, and you see people still there, and it's like, is it different, or do you just like hop back into the same conversations, or how's it go?
I mean, I hop back obviously with my best friends. It's like nothing ever happened, and my family obviously. But I saw this quote, and I do feel like it's kind of true. It's like once you leave and you go back, you never really feel like you belong there anymore. It's such a weird thing. I don't know, Tiki Nation, if you feel the same. You always kind of feel like, like you're just not an outsider. I don't want to say that, but it just feels a little bit different, not with your people, but when you see like other people and stuff. So that's kind of how it is for me, at least.
Yeah, I agree. There's like some like, I have my group of friends, who I went to, school with and stuff, like in my grade and stuff. And I'm much closer to a certain group compared to like everyone, So when I see everyone, I don't know why, but it does feel like a little awkward in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of just like, I don't know, because it's like you might have been really close back then, but if you weren't part of like the tight knit group, like either I wasn't a part of their tight knit group or they weren't a part of mine, stuff like that. It is rather like it's hard to get back into that. You know what I mean? If you're not constantly talking and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I definitely felt that a little bit on some scenarios and stuff. But it's always funny just to see people like who you haven't seen in a while, just to see like how they are and how they like act with you and stuff. There was one, this buddy, I played baseball with him and grade school and stuff, and he went to like a neighborhood high school. But I saw him at Wakeums and stuff, and I was there with some of my family. Some friends went there, and my new girlfriend was there. So I was like introducing her and stuff, and it was a good time. We were just playing pool, and he was there. I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like, this is my new girlfriend, yada 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 and stuff. And he just goes, and he never used to sound like hickish at all with a country accent. But he just like, I don't know, through the years or what, or where he works or something like that. And he's just like, oh my gosh, you're just so gosh darn beautiful. How'd you end up with this dumbass? That's what he said, like word for word, verbatim and stuff. And I was like, I think I was just like, oh, okay. I was just like so thrown off by the accent, the slight to me. And I'm like, I haven't talked to you in like 7 years. And this is how it's going.
That is too funny.
That's funny.
But it was good. I'm definitely gonna be back sometime for Christmas. So I'm excited for that.
I should be back for a decent chunk of time. I think I'm gonna be going like the 21st or 22nd, and then should be staying through the new year. So have a good little time at home.
That's awesome.
Nice. I'll be there too.
Looks like my computer's gonna die. I need to plug it.
Well, before JT's computer died, I just want to shout out 19th hole because I think I went there 3 or 4 times in the 5 days I was in Wheeling. And
it is a great place. I always love going back to the hole.
I ate there, what was it, Wednesday night? First time I think I've ever eaten inside 19th hole. Maybe no, maybe twice or third time or something like that. Absolute fire eating inside. Absolute fire.
I love it there, man. I don't know. I always like most of the time the vibes are just awesome in there. Yeah, shout out the hole.
Shout out the hole.
I tell you, I don't got anything else. I got a softball game in an hour.
Playoffs. Oh shit.
Softball game playoffs in an hour.
Playoffs.
You're gonna be live streaming on Instagram?
I'm gonna try. So I've been doing YouTube. YouTube actually has very good quality, but it's a pain to stream. I'm gonna try to set it up on Twitch to see if it stutters. If it stutters, I'll probably do YouTube. Everyone loves the Instagram because it's so much easier to just hop into Instagram. But I also have to film it horizontal, so everyone has to. I don't know. It's just chaos. Twitch is so dumb, but I don't know. Hopefully we win. If we win, we play Wednesday, and then we're guaranteed a game next week. If we lose, we might be out on Thursday, but I don't know. We got a good roster. We're gonna fucking bring it tonight.
Let's go. Let's go. Get the dub.
Yeah. Hopefully we get through. So I'm excited.
Well, Tiki Nation will be rooting for you. Thank you guys for hopping in line with us. It was great. I hope you enjoyed your lunch. And we will catch you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Talk to you, Seth.